Today is Monday, July 18th. News over the weekend with an attempted and failed coup in Turkey. So I thought I'd take a look at some of these emerging markets to see if there's anything of interest there, and I think there is. First, let's start with Turkey. And as you can see, it had broken down below its averages and made a breakout attempt there when the rest of the world was rallying. But that ended with the gap down opening this morning. This is the Turkey ETF, by the way, TUR symbol. And really not much to like here in terms of indicators. Trend appears to be down once again. So let's keep going and look at the emerging markets ETF. Just the general emerging markets coverage on this one. You can see that the trend is still to the downside mostly, but take a look over here. You do see an upside breakout over the last week or so. I think that looks pretty decent. It's above its 50-day and 200-day moving averages. Price relative, well, slightly better. It's still not great. And RSI, at least it's on the strong side. Nothing that interesting there, but it's better than what it could have been. Okay, let's move on. Let's take a look at one of my favorites. This is Vietnam. VNM is the symbol. And that looks like a nice breakout from a range that's been in effect for a couple of months, now through both averages, recently the 200-day. So that looks pretty good. Not really outperforming the U.S. right now, but at least it's matching the pace. And RSI, again, is on the high side, which is good. Not overbought, but not weak either. So I kind of like the Vietnam ETF. It's something to check out. Next, take a look at China, or the FXI ETF. It's quasi-China. Same story here. Even in this part of the world, got a breakout above the average and above this recent trading range. So I like it. Not quite as much as some of the others, but certainly better than it used to be. Okay, moving to another part of the world. This is Brazil. Lots of news there with the Olympics, the Zika virus, and all kinds of stuff. But look at the trend in the stock market. Not too shabby. That is a rising trend. It's above its averages. Beating the U.S. a little bit over the last 2 months. Momentum is decent. So on a pullback, it's probably a good one. And finally, this is Peru. And the reason I like to look at Peru is because it's almost a proxy on the precious metals. It's very heavily into silver mining. And when one does well, the other seems to do well. So that's a nice breakout. Although the RSI is not exactly overbought here. This looks like it probably is ready for a pullback. You can see the 50-day average clearly above the 200-day. So that part of the world, not bad. So even though Turkey, big emerging markets, having its problems, the rest of the emerging markets world is not too bad.